no like sponsoring and signatories for this.
Well, the sponsors are the caucus group.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, but there's no signatories, right? It's just the caucus group.
Okay,
It's
well
a
then-
presentation of my
Okay,
college.
well, explain that. The caucus groups are sponsors, so, right?
Yeah.
And then that doesn't mean that they're the people who vote for it and vote against.
That's the what?
That they're the only people who vote for it and vote against.
They are the only people.
They are not represented.
Okay, so we had a question over here from this back left table, and just to explain a little bit, when these are the caucuses you'll be breaking into when you're going to come up with your amendments to the resolutions, and each caucus group is going to come up with a list of amendments to each of the 3 resolutions. And so a way we like to say that is that caucus group B is sponsoring this amendment, and that's just the way we say it. It's just an official way to say it. And you guys have to be aware that you aren't necessarily the only countries that are going to be voting for your amendment, because I'm sure that there's lots of similarities between each of these 4 groups, and just because we split you up this way doesn't mean that there's no bonds anywhere else. If you're someone in the back right corner over there, and you have an amendment that if you guys present your amendment, you should not be surprised if you find people from the back left corner voting for it. So the goal is to get as many people to vote for it as you can, and we do that by debating through speeches and comments and caucuses.
And unmoderated caucuses especially.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you branch out. Another thing is that, sorry, I forgot.
Okay, since you forgot, I'm going to talk about one last thing. We went over speeches, we went over comments, we went over amendments, we went over caucuses, both these caucuses and the completely informal caucuses that we do during committee. The last thing we have is voting. And voting is very simple. It's either your placards up or your placards down. And there's 2 ways that we got to talk about, though. There's 2 types of voting. There's procedural matters and there's substantive matters. A procedural matter is something that relates to how much time we're going to be speaking for. If someone motions for moving the time speaking from 1 minute to 2 minutes, then that would be a procedural motion, and you guys are all required to vote yes or no on it. And another thing we have is substantive motions, and that would be a resolution. And for a resolution, you can either vote yes, you can vote no, or you can abstain. And abstaining is a very interesting thing. It's basically just like saying, I don't really care, or my country doesn't really care. So if you're very for a resolution, you want to say yes. If you're very against a resolution, you want to say no. And if you don't really want to pass it, but you also don't want to show your not support for it, then you abstain. And you find a lot of very neutral countries abstaining very often. I don't think there was Switzerland here, but they abstain every time. So, are there any questions? If someone's going to motion for a 10-minute caucus, either unmoderated or moderated, that's a procedural motion. Everyone either votes yes or they vote no. And if it passes with 50% majority, then we do the caucus. Okay. And we're going to check, but I'm pretty sure resolutions are also 50%, but you just get the added bonus that you can abstain if you want to. Are there any questions about voting or anything? It's pretty simple, you get the hang of it really easy, and not too hard. Okay. Okay, if you guys want to take a 10-minute break right now, just kind of relax a little bit. We realize